welcome back to New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know with all things events and entertainment in New Mexico. I'm Tracey Robertson, and on this month's episode, we're covering topics from our September issue, which is our music issue. On this month's episode, we have Mozzy D, Tracey Whitney, Alex Maryol, Keith Robertson, Albuquerque Headbangers Market, and Ken Peterson from Bands of Enchantment. We also have our community question, entertainment history, and our music minute featuring the Daniel Solis Band. So, let's get started. Mozzy D continues to make New Mexico proud, recently winning the Ameripolitan Award for Rockabilly Female Artist of the Year. Tonight, she shares her thoughts on the award and the direction her music career is taking her. Mozzy, thank you for joining me tonight. I am so excited to actually have you here in person.
Yes, I'm excited too. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. At first, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wearing the Ameripolitan Award.
Yes.
It's like Neapolitan.
Yes,
but American.
exactly.
So how was it? How was it to receive that award?
You know, I didn't expect it at all. It was very shocking and surprising to me. I mean, I had just put out my first album last year, and it qualified me for the award, and I just kept promoting and asking people to vote for me, and it actually worked. And of course, you know, it probably has a lot to do with talent too. But
yeah, I would think so.
You would think.
I would think so. And it's been a while since we've interviewed you. I mean, yeah, you put out a new album, and there's been so many things that I'm sure has happened since then. So what adventures have you been on since we last talked with you?
Well, I did my first international show in Canada, Gananoque, Canada. So that was amazing. It was a festival called Red Hot and Blue Festival, and it's a big rockabilly event up there, and it was so amazing. I've been just all over the country, really. I just found out I'll be going to Finland in October.
Finland?
Yes.
You always surprise me in the areas that are just lovers of rockabilly. Or there was Germany, and now Finland. Would not expect that.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be in Helsinki, a little bit north of that, Vanta, I think it's what it's called. So,
how exciting.
Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary for Goofin Records, and they'll actually be printing some 45s for me to celebrate.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
I know you've been working on your craft for a while, and being here in New Mexico have found inspiration in that. Are you finding the scene is just growing more and more the more stuff you're putting out?
And thank goodness too, because we really do need to grow the rockabilly scene here. I know that Jacob Sheehan is also doing his rockabilly trio, and I know that Pat Bova, who used to be in the Bovines here in Albuquerque a while back, is now doing One Hand Loose, inspired by Charlie Feathers and all kinds of great artists from the 50s. So it's wonderful to see it just expanding.
Well, I know that you're off to Finland. You'll be going to Finland.
Yeah.
But what can we look forward to here in Albuquerque and New Mexico?
So I will be having a show in Red River, New Mexico for the festival called Aspencade Festival. So I will be performing on September 28th. It's Saturday. I will be going on around 12 p.m. And Jacob will actually be playing with me on guitar. He's playing with Levi Platero that day too. So
awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big party. And I also just found out that I'll be Patsy Cline in Night of the Living cover bands.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please let it be on a night it could go. That is such a perfect fit.
Yes, so far it's October 11th.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm good. I'm good. That is so awesome. Well, where can people learn more about you, your upcoming projects, and where you'll be performing?
So you can find out all about that on my website. It's mozzydmusic.com. I'm on Spotify. I would appreciate follows from everybody. Support your New Mexico artists.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Mozzy, thank you again for coming out and talking with me. Congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be back. Tracey Whitney is a national treasure in the world of jazz. With a career spanning over 6 decades, Whitney remains a powerful presence, both as a musician and an entrepreneur. Tonight, we delve into her beginnings, her upcoming projects, and what it's like to be a part of the jazz scene in New Mexico. Tracey, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm excited about this one. I've known you for so long, and I've never gotten to sit down and pick your brain about the history of.
Sounds painful.
I know, but I mean, like, when there are people that are like have made music their life, like,
yes,
that is you. So
yeah.
That's where I want to start. It's like, how did it begin?
First of all, Teresa, thank you for having me. And how it all began was. I was 11 years old. My brothers and I were rehearsing downstairs while my mother, aunt, and uncle were rehearsing upstairs, and during the time of the Jackson 5, and my mother stopped her brother and sister and said, "Are those my children?" Because we were like, everybody wanted to be a singing group back then. And so that's how it started, and I've been performing nonstop since I was 11 years old.
My goodness. So obviously you're bringing up Motown. What would you say, or when you're looking at developing your voice and your sound, who were those influences and mentors that you turned to?
Well, the influences first is my mother, who is an amazing singer. I mean, and she toured with Solomon Burke and Johnny Otis. And I mean, my mom had her own career, so she was a phenomenal singer. Actually has an Emmy Award nominated song that we all did a soundtrack for a movie for. But I would say that when I was younger, of course, my influences were, the soul and R&B. But after I stopped singing with my family, and I was in my 20s at that point, I really started gravitating toward jazz. Mm-hmm. And the incomparable Nancy Wilson was a friend of my family's. And I remember when I was like 16, and we were singing at the Playboy Club in LA, and she was like, Trace, you have a voice made for jazz. Wow. You should think of singing jazz. And I was like, and that was it. And it was just became the genre that I absolutely connected with.
Well, living in New Mexico, I think people have an automatic thought of what music is, going to be originated and played mostly here. But it's pretty eclectic. So what is it like being a jazz singer in New Mexico?
Actually, the jazz community here is amazing. It is huge. And when I moved here, I thought I was going to have to invent the wheel. I mean, I toured with Ray Charles. I was a Ray Led. I lived in Japan for 5 years, gigging over there. Had a pretty big career in LA, and I moved here, and I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen here? And I was blown away by how much jazz was here, but not just how much jazz, how inviting the community was. Mm-hmm. It was just like, come on, the more the merrier.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So I do have to bring up that your voice has led to you winning this year's New Mexico Entertainment Award. You almost thought I was going to take it away from you.
Yeah, I did. I was holding on to it, girl.
So how does it feel?
It's on my pink piano.
Oh, of course.
It is, front and center in my living room. I have a 1900s, I can't think of the name, but an beautiful upright piano that I had custom painted pink, and it's sitting right there.
Oh my goodness.
Front and center. I'm so grateful. And I was surprised. And I'm very grateful.
Well, for those who have yet to hear your beautiful voice, what is coming up performance-wise where people can check you out?
Actually, I've entered into a partnership with Heritage Hotels and Resorts. They own everything.
Yes, they do.
Anyway, they just took over the old Monte Vista fire station, and it's now called the Smoky Note. And it is a really sophisticated little cocktail lounge. And I'm singing there for them every Wednesday, and then we'll spread out into their other things, because since I'm now partnering with them on opening a jazz club at the beginning of next year.
Awesome.
Yeah, an actual nightclub. Not a bar, not a brewery, not a restaurant, not a something else that has jazz, but a nightclub. We will be open till midnight.
Wow.
So we're just, getting ready to do that, and that's going to be in Uptown, and super excited about that.
Very excited about that one. So where can people learn more about you, your background,
Yeah.
what's coming up, all of it?
You can go to babydollentertainment.com. All things Tracey.
Well, Tracey, thank you for coming on tonight. It is an honor to sit down and talk with you.
Thank you for having me.
And yes, so thank you so much. And everyone, if you haven't checked her out, you need to. So
Yeah, every Wednesday, 6 to 9, come on over to the Smoky Note.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Come up for the weekend, a much needed vacation, taking a side or two. If you go here and there, you'll find a Spanish flair and still see the red, white, and blue. You'll find satisfaction with all the attractions. Forget about old Mexico. No need for a visa, and still drink good tequila up in New Mexico. Yeah, there's plenty of cantinas with lots of senoritas. Oh, no worries, my friend. No need to cross the border to make a tall order of mezcal and the worm at the end. Along with the fiesta.
Alex Maryol brings a unique blend of indie rock, Mississippi blues, and smooth R&B to the stage. Over the years, he has opened for such artists as Etta James, Bo Diddley, and Bonnie Raitt. Tonight, we talk about his musical journey and where you can catch him performing around town. Alex, thank you for joining me this evening. We're glad to have you on the show. So I want to start at the beginning. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, you are very established. So tell me, how did it begin for you?
Goodness, I got a guitar when I was, actually Back to the Future came out when I was 5. And all the cool guys in the movies back then played guitars.
I love it.
So I got a guitar when my parents bought me a guitar when I was 7, took lessons, and the rest kind of is history. I started playing out when I was 17.
So who were you? I mean, obviously Back to the Future was the inspiration. Who did you lean towards as you were learning how to play that
Well,
guitar?
it's interesting. Chuck Berry was the man.
Yep.
And there was a scene in that movie with, Chuck Berry music, but it wasn't because of that. My dad had a Chuck Berry tape, and he played it every time we drove to school in the morning in the truck. So Chuck Berry was my guy.
Were you like going through the house doing the duck walk too?
No, I didn't have any visuals to put with it. I didn't know what he looked like. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I love it.
Oh my goodness.
And then, just my dad played a lot of great music around the house.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I have to say, you've worked with a lot of greats. Like, how do you not fanboy out when you're like, how do you walk on that stage so confident and just not be like, oh my God?
Yeah, you just fake it. Because, I've been very fortunate. When I got to open for Etta James, I did not get to meet her. So that was maybe, was a good thing.
Yep.
Might have just been squealed, I don't know, whatever. But that was great, things like that. But playing with Bo Diddley and people like this, you gotta, you're doing a job and you're there on stage with them. So they're counting on you to do your job too.
Well, when it came to making your own music, when did you realize that you've hit that moment that people were recognizing what you're doing and that it was making a difference?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. When I was much younger, it kept getting. At a certain point, I stopped calling for gigs, and I was getting called for gigs, and people, at shows, music lovers would tell me how much they enjoyed the music, and that was kind of, that really. I guess that would be it.
Is there one particular performance that you did that still resonates with you?
Oh gosh, the opening for Etta James was a big one.
I can imagine.
And playing with Bo Diddley at the same theater at the Lensic, and my folks being in the audience for those was a big part of it too, because it's because of them that I started playing music, really.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So what do we have to look forward to in terms of performances that you have coming up?
I'm playing at Town and Ranch on the 22nd, and the Dragon Room in Santa Fe the last 2 Fridays of September. And I've got some things brewing with my band that aren't set in stone yet, but some live shows with my band will be coming up.
Oh, really looking forward to that. Where can people learn more about you, your music, and what you have coming up?
A Google search works. Big on YouTube, but the videos on YouTube are there. But alexmaryol.com is probably the most direct way.
Wonderful. Well, Alex, thank you again for coming out tonight and sharing a little bit with us about yourself, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We'll be back. Keith Robertson has been immersed in music since childhood. This musician, songwriter, and producer has built a remarkable career in the entertainment industry. Tonight we discuss his latest single, Without You, and explore his journey through the world of music. Keith, thank you for joining me this evening to talk about your music. And I want to start at the beginning because, you've been in this field for quite a while. You have quite a portfolio. So I wanted to talk about how it all began for you.
Well, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I started at the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, taking drums and percussion. So that kind of evolved with me playing with a lot of people around town, which led to me getting discovered when I was playing at Central State University with the super group, pretty much. And we got discovered by Midnight Star at the time.
Wow.
And then that went on to them wanting to hire myself and a friend of mine to be staff songwriters and producers. So that's kind of how the whole thing kind of started off.
Well, you started off playing with others. When you decided you wanted to go your own way with music, who did you look to when it came to mentors and listening to different artists? Who did you feel was resonating with you?
Well, I had a wonderful music teacher. His name was Willie C. Turner in Cincinnati, Ohio. High school music teacher. He really helped launch so many different people. And so he was an inspiration. And also my family, who's the Isley brothers. That really,
wow.
and just being around it, from just being a kid, and I really was, I had the fire, and passion for music, but just, all of that around me, it just really was an inspiration. Yeah.
So I have to ask, as we were going through your photos online and gathering information, I came across, which I was surprised, was you had a photo of NSYNC on your. So what you have, like, was it platinum?
Yeah, they actually went diamond. They sold more than 20 million units. And so I was a part of that, and it's a long story, but quickly, I co-produced a song for Teddy Pendergrass before he passed away. Wow. And so NSYNC, the music director, heard the remix of the song that we produced, and so Justin Timberlake and the guy, they got together and said, we got to use a portion of this song. So that's how all this came together. It was out of nowhere, but it was really wonderful to be a part of that.
So coming from this just rich environment, You're here now in New Mexico, which I'm sure is a totally different animal. What is it like being a musician here in New Mexico?
Well, what I love about it, is that the community is really tight knit. There's a lot of wonderful musicians that I've run into and I met. I'm performing quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so LA is a lot bigger and kind of more cliquey. But here, I think that things are just more tight knit, and a lot of the same guys play together quite a bit.
Well, let's talk about, you actually have some new music out. I would love to talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, my new single is called Without You, and I've also had some other releases as well. But I'm just inspired just to continue to create. Because doing it independently, you don't have anybody over your shoulder, telling you the deadline and when you have to do X, Y, and Z. So I just really love to do it, and have quite a few releases coming out, the new single, and I have some other stuff coming out soon as well.
Wonderful. Well, what performances do you have coming up where people can check you out?
I've been performing pretty much with a local musician by the name of Rodney Bowe. And myself and Rodney and some of the other guys, we perform at Sandia Bien Sure, a lounge. So we'll probably be there next week. I don't want to mess up the name of this winery where we're going to be tomorrow. So we're going to be at a local winery performing tomorrow. And I'm also putting a band together to support a lot of my artists' music as well.
Oh, that's great. Well, where can people find out more about you and any performances you do have coming up so you don't mess up the name of the winery?
I do not want to do that. Yeah. On my website at robworksentertainment.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Keith, for coming out and talking with me, and just an amazing history of your work. And we're looking forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll be back. This is your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. Pickamania is a 3-day music festival with the Gila National Forest as its backdrop. Pickamania takes place on September 6th through the 8th at Black Range Lodge in Kingston. Home, I'm Darling is Laura Wade's new dark comedy about sex, cake, and the quest to be the perfect 50s housewife. Home, I'm Darling takes place on September 6th through the 15th at North 4th Theater in Albuquerque. Morgue and Crypt Horror Fest is back. Take part in 3 days of spine-chilling fun celebrating all things horror with celebrity guests, vendors, panels, screenings, and more. Morgue and Crypt Horror Fest takes place on September 27th through the 29th at Isleta Resort and Casino in Albuquerque. This has been your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. For more events and entertainment, visit nmentertains.com. Driven by one woman's vision, a distinct marketing space was born. ABQ Headbangers Market is a tribute to the rock and metal community, celebrating its dedicated artists and fans whom the space was created. We're excited to have Brenda and Michael Lopez and Andreas Diaz here to share more about it. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm really excited to talk more about the Headbangers Market. Yeah, you guys have really made a name for yourselves. So I want to start with how this concept even began.
All right. So different sources, right? Different sources of inspiration. To begin with, I am a market vendor myself. I've been vending for about 8 or 9 years. And I have been rejected at some events, actually, because my craft is considered too dark.
Wow.
So, after participating at local events that were unique and different, like the Albuquerque Pagan Pride Festival was kind of an inspiration. I felt like, you know what? We need more events that are different. So I made the right connections with the people from OT Circus Gallery. I was inspired by Lady Jen, who you interviewed a couple of weeks ago. She ran many amazing events at the OT Circus Gallery. And after talking to them, presenting my idea, they approved it. They gave me a green light. And this was July of 2021, okay? I thought, why not? Let's bring the best of both worlds, right? Live music, arts and crafts, and let's make it happen.
We built a stage.
So with the help of these guys, they are my ride or die friends. My husband and my friend Andres, they got on board. They built a DIY stage, and yeah, we made it happen. They asked me, when do you want this to happen? I said, October, of course, October. Yeah.
Spooky season.
Spooky season, which fitted right in with the theme of the event. And we had 3 months to put the first Headbangers market together. And we had a really overwhelmingly positive feedback from the community, right? Everybody embraced it. People were like looking forward to something like this. It was very refreshing, especially after coming out of the pandemic and trying to reactivate downtown. It was perfect timing. I think it came full circle, right? It happened when it needed to happen, right? There are many artists and crafters and makers that think outside the box, right? That don't fit in the usual traditional markets, and they also get rejected from some places. And I think that they definitely feel supported, and we love doing this because it's rewarding in that sense. You know?
I know you guys we're heading into the spooky season. So we know it's coming up. Who can we expect to see this year when it comes to vendors and performers?
We have not decided that yet. We're about to get that together, but we're going to have about 6 bands. We're going to have about 40 vendors, both indoor and outdoor spaces. We're going to have food trucks as well as arts and crafts. It's going to be amazing.
So where can people go to learn more about it and get any updates for the show?
Well, we have Facebook, Instagram pages. That's probably where you get most of the information right now.
Yep, eventually in a few days, Fusion Theater is www.fusionnm.org. They're going to have all the details in their events calendar. You can find the pre-sale tickets there and more details about what to expect.
You can just search ABQ Headbangers Market. It'll come up. October 12th.
October 12th.
At Fusion.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we are looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And congratulations for taking that inspiration and creating something that everybody enjoys.
Yeah, it's a very community-driven event. A lot of people support what we're doing.
Definitely.
A lot of people willing to help out. It's been great.
Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight and talking to me more
Thank
about
you
it.
for having us. Thank you.
We're not moshing.
Come on, we're not moshing?
No. Maybe the next time. Thanks for coming out and keep us updated.
Thank you so much. We will, for sure.
We'll be back. Band of Enchantment is returning for its 4th season. This award-winning international music show celebrates a variety of music with New Mexico as the backdrop, showcasing some of the finest bands and artists from the state. Tonight, we're thrilled to welcome back Ken Peterson, who will announce this season's featured artist and share how you can be a part of the show. Thank you, Ken, for joining me tonight. I am excited to have you back on the show to talk about season 4. And first, I want to start, you got another award under your belt.
Yes, the New Mexico Entertainment Award. Yeah, we're thrilled to win that, and we actually did get another Telly Award too. So 2 more to the belt.
Exactly. So, what is it that you think it is about this show? I mean, the show is great. Why do you think more and more viewers are tuning in?
Oh, it's great music. It's great, incredible bands, top-notch sound, cinematically filmed. And the beautiful backdrop of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's authentic. Everyone involved in this project is in it for the love of the game. So I think that comes through.
So, I mean, how are you going to keep this motivation up? I mean, what are your plans going forward with season 4, 5, 6, and so on?
Bigger, bolder, better. Yeah, we're coming to the chemo September 12th through the 15th. And we got an incredible lineup for season 4. And everyone should come out. We're going to have fun. It's live events plus a film set. So it's a very unique experience. And it's like being at a house party kind of living room vibe. You're on stage with the band. So it's a very unique experience if you haven't been.
So let's talk season 4. Who do we have to look forward to?
We kick off with Sima Funk from Cuba, Afro-Cuban funk band. They're incredible. And then on Friday, we have Uncle Lucius coming in from Austin, and then we have Albuquerque's own Dust City Opera. We have New Mexico's own Jacob Shihei Trio. And then on Saturday, we have New Mexico's own, Albuquerque's own Kevin Herrig and also Willow J from Albuquerque. We have another band yet we haven't announced yet. And then on Sunday, we have from Canada, the Free Label. And then we also have Xenadelphia from Philadelphia. All an incredible lineup. I could go on for an hour, but I know I'll take up too much time.
I appreciate that. But I do want to ask, I mean, that's what, 9 or 10 bands that you're going to have coming through for season 4. What was it about this lineup that drew you to have them on the show for this season?
Well, it's, we try to get an eclectic blend of genres, of diversity, of pulling from different areas of the country and world. Some of these artists, Simafunk, I've been talking with since their team since season 2. A lot of artists, it's kind of like that, and we kind of try to figure out the scheduling. Yeah, it's just some that are on the top of my playlist or recommendation from fans and friends, and yeah, it's kind of a lot of different things that go into it, but it's mostly amazing music that's going to be an incredible evening and awesome to watch on television.
Well, we are looking forward to it. And where can people catch up on past episodes leading up into season 4?
Yeah, so you can catch seasons 1 and 2. All seasons eventually. Season 3 is coming in 1 month on, anyways, PBS, and it's streaming there, and it broadcasts there countrywide. And then Amazon Prime, Tubi, All Arts. There's like 10 other platforms too. And season 3 is populated on all those as we speak. But yeah, you can throw an internet stone and you can hit it, but just Google it, you'll find it.
Well, Ken, thank you for coming on again tonight to the show and talking more about Bands of Enchantment, and we are looking forward to season 4.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having me back, and we'll see you in September.
Great. We'll be back. Thanks for joining us for this month's episode of New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know. Join us next month as we cover topics from our October issue, which is our fall issue. Have a great night. For more events and entertainment, visit nmentertains.com.